Mamoru Takamura is loud, violent, and impossible to ignore. But that's not the man I want to talk about today. This video is my interpretation of who Takamura becomes after the noise fades, when he's alone with his thoughts. Watch this till the end, then pause for a moment. And in the comments, tell me, do you see Takamura the same way? Or did you see someone else entirely? What happens when the loudest man in the room is finally alone? When the cheering fades, the jokes vanish, and the door to a small apartment clicks shut. Who is Mamoru Takamura then? Takamura's decision to step into the boxing ring was never about applause. It was about proof. Proof that strength, once discovered, must be tested, or it rots. For him, physical power was not a gift to be enjoyed casually, but a burden that demanded purpose. The ring became the only honest place where that burden could be carried without apology. He does not box to escape weakness. He boxes because weakness insults him. The structure of the sport, rules, rounds, consequences, provides a rare order to a man who otherwise lives chaotically. In the ring, strength is measured, pain is respected, and outcomes are undeniable. This appeals to a psyche that rejects ambiguity. Boxing is where Takamura's aggression becomes meaningful. Outside, it is disruptive. Inside the ropes, it is sacred. This distinction is crucial to understanding him. Takamura's behavior is deliberately excessive. His arrogance is loud. His humor is crude. His presence overwhelms spaces. This is not a lack of control, it is control weaponized. By exaggerating himself, he prevents others from getting close enough to ask real questions. Psychologically, this is defensive masking. If he is always too much, no one expects vulnerability. If he is a caricature, no one looks for depth. His outrageousness becomes armor. Yet restraint exists beneath this chaos. He follows rigid personal rules. He tolerates suffering in silence. He does not complain about injuries, hunger, or isolation. This contradiction, external recklessness paired with internal discipline, is the core tension of his character. He chooses when to be unhinged, and that choice is power. Could Takamura's outrageous behavior be the most disciplined act of his life? Takamura does not express sadness, doubt, or fear in conventional ways. He does not seek comfort. He does not ask to be understood. Emotion, for him, is something to be compressed, not released. This emotional containment is not ignorance, it is training. He believes that indulging emotional vulnerability weakens focus. In his worldview, feelings are distractions unless they can be converted into fuel. Yet emotions do not disappear when ignored. They settle, they accumulate, and they surface indirectly through aggression, humor, and self-isolation. He is not emotionally numb. He is emotionally efficient. What emotions survive when a man refuses to give them names? One of the most revealing aspects of Takamura's psyche is how rarely his kindness is visible. When he acts generously, it is subtle, indirect, and often deliberately disguised as indifference or mockery. This suggests a deep discomfort with being seen as gentle. Kindness, to him, is private. It does not require recognition. In fact, recognition would contaminate it. Psychologically, this implies a moral code that exists independently of social validation. He helps because it aligns with his internal standards, not because it enhances his image. This form of quiet kindness is more demanding than public compassion. It offers no reward. Why would someone so loud choose to hide his softest actions? Takamura's apartment is not a home, it is a holding space. Sparse, functional, temporary. Everything in it suggests a man who does not plan to stay still for long. There is no effort to impress, no personalization meant for visitors. The apartment exists to serve recovery, rest, and isolation. It reflects a mindset that sees comfort as a potential enemy. Living alone is not a consequence of his personality, it is a requirement of it. Solitude allows him to decompress without explanation. No performance, no mask. The apartment is where the roar finally ends. What does Takamura become when no one is watching? Takamura cooks for himself. This matters. Cooking requires patience, timing, restraint, qualities often overlooked in him. His meals are practical, repetitive, and disciplined. Food is fuel, not pleasure. Yet the act of preparing it himself suggests autonomy. He trusts no one else with his body. Psychologically, cooking is one of the few nurturing behaviors he allows himself. It is care without softness, responsibility without sentiment. It is the closest he comes to self-compassion. What does it mean when a man insists on preparing his own survival? His preference for adult comics is often misunderstood as immaturity. In reality, it reflects a controlled outlet for desire, contained, fictional, consequence-free. These stories allow indulgence without vulnerability. No emotional negotiation, no rejection, no obligation. They satisfy curiosity without risking attachment. For someone who avoids emotional exposure, this form of escapism is safe. It offers stimulation without entanglement. It is not loneliness. It is risk management. What kind of man chooses fantasy over connection? Takamura's avoidance of romantic relationships is not rooted in incapacity, but in restriction. He imposes limits on himself because he understands the cost of intimacy. Romantic attachment demands compromise, emotional availability, and future-oriented thinking, elements that conflict with his singular focus. He fears distraction more than rejection. He fears softening more than loneliness. Choosing solitude is not resignation, it is discipline. What would romance take away from him? Isolation, for Takamura, is not punishment, it is preservation. Alone, he remains sharp. Alone, he answers only to his internal standards. Social bonds introduce unpredictability, expectations, emotional debt. He avoids these not out of arrogance, but clarity. He understands himself best when no one else is involved. Is solitude his sacrifice, or his strength? Personal growth, in Takamura's case, does not mean becoming gentler. It means becoming more precise, more self-aware, more controlled. He evolves not by changing who he is, but by refining how he carries it. Loneliness does not break him, it shapes him. When the door closes, the lights dim, and the world falls silent, Mamoru Takamura does not collapse. He sharpens himself. Takamura is not a paradox. He is a system. Every behavior, every excess, every restraint serves a purpose. He sacrifices connection for clarity, comfort for control, expression for efficiency. In his quiet apartment, surrounded by routine and solitude, he is not incomplete. He is exactly who he chose to be.